here with Steve at the SBC offices talking about buying gold, buying precious metals. In the firearms industry right now, there's so many people buying firearms for the first time. What's going on with your industry? Is it existing clients, or are you seeing brand new people entering the market?
Well, I think we're finding a lot more people right now are buying that have already been buying in the gold and silver markets for a long time. The general public really hasn't started to get in yet, which is a good sign, because when that really comes, that's when the real price increases are really going to happen. We're definitely seeing some new people come in, but it's nowhere near what we've seen from existing clients and referrals right now.
Well, what do you think will finally cause that? We've now seen gold go over $2,000 an ounce. People are talking about bigger projections. What is it that's finally going to get the average person to say, this is something I need to do?
You know, it's honestly something I thought we would have seen when we got over 1,900, which was an all-time high. And I think right now people are still a little bit the stock market's still moving in a trajectory where it's still headed in an upward direction. Once that starts to get a little bit more stagnant, that's probably when the general public's going to start looking a lot more as a wealth preservation. So look at how good we're doing without that.
We're seeing a lot of people displaced in one way or another, where they're leaving companies and they have money, like in a 401k or retirement account. You can really help people with that, with part or all of it, right? How do you help people with a retirement account?
Yeah, so that's something we are seeing a lot more of. People that have lost their jobs due to the pandemic, and people that are no longer at work. A lot of those people are rolling over their 401k plans, or they're moving IRA plans into physical precious metals. We help them to establish a new precious metals IRA with a custodian that allows that, and then we help them to be able to go through the rest of the process, which is fairly simple, and it helps them to be able to diversify those assets in precious metals, in physical metals, not paper.
So just to clarify, it's not an all or nothing proposition. If somebody's got a portfolio that they're happy with, but you can show them how they can take part of it and diversify it into precious metals.
Yeah, no question. They can take a partial distribution, they can take or do a partial rollover, which allows them to be able to move into the amount of metal that they need to be comfortable and to be in the right diversification. They don't have to move at all.
And you have people here that do all that behind the scenes work for them. They sign the paperwork, but the legwork's done by your people.
Absolutely. I have Michelle, who is in my IRA liaison. She's going to do all the heavy lifting for you, make sure that that's a very simple process, and really all you're doing is dotting the I's and crossing the T's.
How much time does it take normally?
You know, the actual process itself is like 20 minutes, but for us to do everything, and then most of the work is from the custodian moving the money over. So soup to nuts, at the beginning to the end of this whole process, you're probably looking at about a week to 10 days, but the actual time you're going to spend on the phone with us for the process is like 20 minutes.
When you have new people that do come through the door, or people that are watching that are new to this, what advice would you say to someone that's thinking about it but has never done it?
I would say, have urgency, but don't panic. Allow us to be able to help you understand your options before you do anything. This isn't a race. We want to make sure you fully understand what you can do and what you should do for for what you're trying to do for diversification, and let us help you to be able to understand those options before you jump in with 2 feet.
For most investing, it's where you are, where you need to be, when you need to be there. Is it the same thing with your industry?
Yeah, I would say so. Right now, obviously there's a lot of crazy things going on in the world right now, and I think a lot of people are very skittish of the direction things are going, and I think there's a lot of reason to be concerned, but there's a lot of good things to look forward to as well, and I think that as we get closer to the election, things will get a little bit more crazy, but you be prepared and you don't have to worry about those things.
And really what that does, what you do, is help people be prepared. This is to be prepared up or down, you helping them.
No question. It's helping people have that insurance policy or that lifeboat when things get really rough, but also it can be a great investment even when things aren't that rough. So it goes both ways.
You've been doing this a long time. One last question. Did you imagine it would ever get this crazy? We'd be over 2,000, looking at maybe 3. Did you ever think that?
I guess I've realized for a long time with the amount of money that's being printed, it's going to go a lot higher. But I remember starting in this business back in 2003, and we saw $350 gold, and people thought 500 would never come. So it's come a long way, but there's a long way to go because of all the money being printed.
Well, I always appreciate your expertise here, and go to the website, great information there, but make an appointment. All information is important, but the right information is the most important. You're going to get it from these guys. So thanks for doing this.
Thanks very much.